Superstudio, the continuous monument. Superstudio was founded in 1966 in Florence, Italy, by Adolfo Natalini and Cristiano Torraldo di Francia. Part of the original 5 members included Alessandro and Robert Magris and Piero Frassinelli.
This group of radical young architects expressed their ideas and theories through collage, sketch, photo montage, and storyboard. Their projects never got built, but were more a message, along with movement. The concept for the continuous monument is a gridded superstructure that would wrap around the world, leaving a physically and culturally frictionless suburban matrix.
So the concept of the continuous monument is to have the gridded structure placed everywhere, including nature. Superstudio of course knew that the project wouldn't be built, but their message was to be aware of what we as architects are designing and to be aware of our surroundings. There is obviously little consideration for the environment and the topography.
As you can see, the grid structure will be placed everywhere, even in nature. The project is very bold. Superstudio, of course, knew it wouldn't be built, but their message was to be aware of what we as architects are designing. There is obviously little consideration for the environment. The structures themselves are very monolithic and also consistent in shape. Just looking at this image, you can see exactly what they mean to reach across to their viewers. To quote Rem Koolhaas, the grid is above all a conceptual speculation. In its indifference to topography, to what exists, it claims the superiority of mental construction over reality. Although by seeing a structure so in contrast with the landscape, Superstudio saw it as unifying. The only different aesthetic element in the continuous monument is in Manhattan, New York. Even in Manhattan, there would be intertwined a continuous movement.
The book Superstudio, Life Without Objects, is Superstudio's challenge against the idea that architectural and technological advances could improve the world. Here's another view of what our city would look like with a continuous monument running through it. This short clip helps to visually see what the city will look like from our perspective. We see it from a man traveling through what seems to be the East River, watching the immense structures all around him. You can catch at some points how the reflectivity of the grid brings in the nature around the city. It almost seems transparent. The video shows how much Manhattan could change its scenic values just because of the structure and its dominance and overpowering size. The name Continuous Monument really elevates the size of the project, because when you think of monument, you think of large and important, like the pyramids, the Eiffel Tower, or the Colosseum.
The projects made such a difference and imposed a change in the world of architecture. Superstudio wanted architecture to be what it should, a benevolent force with meaning to specific projects in specific areas. Their actions were said to have influenced architects such as Rem Koolhaas. His site plan is similar to the continuous monument because both are trying to control city and man. Both are attempting to create a connection from different areas with a bold design, although obviously one is an impossible idea.
MVRDV architects also had a design very similar to the concept from Superstudio. The idea of making the city more suburbanized is common in both. Costa Iberica is very similar to Superstudio.